Yo, what's good with y'all? In today's video, I got y'all with the how to make flame breathing in Roblox and stuff. I honestly started working on flame breathing before I started doing thunder breathing. The only reason what's it called? The only reason I decided to do thunder breathing first was because that's what people wanted first and stuff. But yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. Oh, also, let me go ahead and thank you guys. Thank you guys for 2,400 subscribers, because I know by the time this video is releasing, I should have more than 2,400 subscribers. So thank you guys for all the love and support you guys been showing. I really do appreciate it. And my bad if I sound tired. I'm lucky a little tired, but anyway, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so first things first, you guys already know the deal. We're gonna need a ray, we're gonna need an NPC to test to make sure the damage works, but it may not damage the NPC, and I'll get into that later in the video. It's a little weird, but anyway, so yeah, so you create an NPC by clicking avatar at the top, then rig builder, and select block avatar, and boom, just like that, you have yourself an NPC, right? And then you can just leave that in the workspace. Then inside of replicated storage, you're going to need a remote event, and we can name this remote event combat event. So you're going to click the plus icon, click remote event, or simply type remote event, and then you're going to rename this remote event to combat event, right? And it's that simple. Make sure you leave that in replicated storage. Now inside of service, we're going to have our two animations. We are going to parent both of these animations to the server script that we're going to write when we get to that stuff. We'll get into that later and stuff. But if you don't understand what these are animations. You simply click the plus icon, just like a remote event. You just type animation, click animation, you rename them. If you see my other videos, you guys know naming is very important. Make sure you name this in the specific order it's going in, like first form animation. So the number form animation, boom, and then you would put your animation ID in here, and it'll autofill the thing for you. So yeah, just leave them in server script service, and we will come back to this later. Now instead of server storage, not gonna hold y'all, it's kind of a lot of stuff in here. Can't even lie to y'all. Okay, first things first, because this is going to take a little minute. So these are my effects, right? These are the effects I got and stuff. I'll have a model. Well, um I'll try to go find the model, because I honestly got like this stuff from different. I got this stuff from like different models, but you guys can easily find it, because you guys seem to struggle when it comes to finding models. Like, it's really not that hard. Like, literally just type flame breathing in toolbox, just search through it, and you guys will find it. But anyway, so first things first, we have the explosion. So let me show you guys real quick. It's simply just two parts. If I make them visible and stuff, it's a yellow part inside of a red part, right? Or like a kind of orange, I guess you could say. Yeah, well, no, yellow, right? So if you guys see it, one's inside the other and stuff. So pretty much I'm gonna make them just get bigger, I guess. So yeah. So pretty much I got this from the flame breathing model, but I just deleted a lot of the other parts and just left the two spears, just to make things easier. But in reality, you could honestly make this yourself. Like, this isn't really complicated. You literally just need to make just what is this thing called? You just need two spears, and then just change the color. And yeah, honestly, you could really make this yourself. But anyway, as for properties, so for properties, can't collide is off. Make sure it is anchored, massless, and yeah. Now as for the second form, this is the second form attack. This is a dragon's head. If you can't tell, it's just invisible. You guys already know. Make sure it can't collide. Make sure you pay attention to the properties, because each one may be different. So can't collide is off, anchored is on, and then it's transparent. So here's what it looks like when it's not transparent. So pretty much for both this and the explosion, we want all the parts to be transparent. We're gonna make them appear by tweening them. Where is the transparency? Okay, there we go. So just make them invisible. And then here's my first form attack. Let me show you guys real quick. Oh, well, the part doesn't matter. So this is simply just a part with a whole bunch of attachments, stuff like I said. Just get it from the flame breathing model and stuff. So pretty much just a whole bunch of particle emitters. I'm not gonna enable all of them, because yeah, that's just a lot to do. So I'm not gonna re-enable them. But the point is, it's like a flame breathing little effect. You guys will see when we finish the first attack. So yeah. So all you need to do here is just disable all the particle emitters. Just literally go to them, find enabled. Oh, actually enabled. Wait, so why isn't it? Now I'm confused. I thought it's because they're not enabled. I'm a little confused. Not gonna hold y'all. I thought it was because they're. Oh wait, I think I know what it is. Is it the time? I think it's the time scale. Let me see. That's what it is. Yeah, sorry, wrong thing. Not enabled. Set time scale. So you want to set time scale equal to 0 for all of these, right? For all these particles, set time scale equal to 0, because right, because here's what it would look like. You know, honestly, it looks very nice. But yeah, so set the time scale equal to 0 for all of these particles so that they don't move at all. I know you guys can see it now, but that's only because it was initially moving. But if it's not moving at all, then you're not going to see anything, right? So make sure, like I said, make sure your name is very specific. I named one explosion because it's a general explosion. You could reuse that for multiple abilities. Then we got the first form VFX and the second form VFX. Once you have all your effects together, like I said, make sure you name them correctly. So first form, second form, right? And you're going to put it inside of a folder called effects, and you're going to leave that inside of server storage. So simply just insert a folder, name it effects, and boom, just like that, you're good to go. Now as for the hitbox is simply just a part. You don't need to worry about sizing, because we're going to set the sizing for each individual ability, because you know each ability is different. So for the hitbox, just make sure it's transparent, make sure can't collide is off, make sure it is not anchored, and yeah, that's really it. And then instead of the hitbox, you're going to want to insert a weld constraint to name it hitbox weld. And then you want to make sure it's enabled, set part 0 to the hitbox, make part 0 the hitbox, but leave part 1 blank. We're going to set that via the script. And once you're done, name it hitbox and leave it inside of server storage, right? Now, in sound service, I have 3 sounds. Then a general explosion sound, right? A flame slash sound. And as always, you guys can find all these sounds in the toolbox. So yeah, then I have this. Now it's a sound. It's a song, like a like a hype song, like no lyrics or anything, right? But I honestly just wanted it for the stomp and stuff, which will make more sense when I get to it. So of course, I mean, you can really name the sounds whatever. The sound names don't matter because I'm just referencing whatever the name is, I'm not referencing it based off of the name of the attack. So you guys can name the sounds whatever you want. Just make sure you update the name on the script. And then lastly, we have ourselves the sword, which once again, I got the sword from the flame breathing model. Here's what it looks like. It's not the specific flame breathing sword. It's more so just a general demon slayer sword. But yeah, so it's just a basic sword. And you get the blade, the handle, the mesh part, the sheath, whatever and stuff. And then it just has a weld constraint. So all 4 parts are welded together. And yeah, not really much to really say on that because the swords come pre-made, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, anyway, let's get back into scripting. Get to the actual scripting. We're going to insert a local script into the sword. We're going to go ahead and name this script flame breathing script. Let's see, script, in parentheses put local. Do a, okay, so make sure my mic is still on. I'm going to delete print hello world. Then I'm going to make a couple variables. I'm going to first get the user input service. So local UIS is equal to game, get service, user input service. Then I'm going to get the tween service. So it's equal to game, get service, tween service. Lastly, I'm going to get the sound service. So SS is equal to game, get service, sound service, right? Then I'm going to get the combat remote event. So local combat event is equal to game, replicated storage, wait for child, combat event. And lastly, I'm going to the local player. So local player is equal to game.players.localplayer. And then as for our first function, we're going to set up the ability activation. So UIS.input began connect function in parentheses put input comma process. Remember, process is how we check to make sure that the player is not typing in chat. If process is equal to false, then that means the player is not typing in chat. They're just pressing the key. So if input.user input type is equal to enum.user input type.keyboard and processed is equal to false, the player is not typing in chat, and player.character find first child script.parent.name, it is essential that you parent to the local script directly to the sword. This will ensure that it'll check to make sure that the player has the sword equipped, because the only way the sword could be in your character, well, I guess technically speaking, but anyway, as a tool, it could only be in your player's character if it's equipped. So yeah. So then press enter, and then last if statement, we're going to say if input.keycode is equal to enum.keycode.e. For me, I'm going with E and F, but you guys can choose whatever key bindings you want. So if it's equal to E, we're going to say combat event fire server in quotation marks. We're going to say first form. We need to make sure we differentiate between each event, comma script.parent. Then we're going to also send over the weapon just in case. Then I'm going to use an else if statement. So else if let's say else if input.keycode is equal to enum.keycode. For me, I want to go with the F key. And then I'm going to do the same thing. So combat event fire server second form comma script dot parent. You see that we have set up the first function. Let's get into our second and last function. For the local script, I'm going to say combat event dot on client event connect function in parentheses put attack type comma arg1 comma arg2 comma arg3 and comma arg4. Arg stands for argument, which is generally just a general name for a piece of information sent from either the server to the client or the client to the server. In this case, it's being sent from the client, from the server to the client. But yeah. So first things first, we're going to say if attack type. I guess event type would actually be better to name it, but anyway. Attack type is equal to quotation marks second form, enter, right? And then I'm going to set up all this stuff. This may not make sense, unless you obviously understand general scripting. It may not make sense because we haven't done the scripting on the server side yet, but it will make sense when we get there. So first things first is local vex clone is equal to argument number 1. Local character attacking, the player using the attack, is equal to argument number 2. Then local explosion clone is equal to argument number 3, and local hitbox clone is equal to argument number 4. Just like that, we have created variables for each argument. Now we're going to say effects clone dot, make sure you pay attention to this, dot attachment dot fire dot parent is equal to character attacking dot left foot. This is to give the player the effect is like as my player's feet, we stomp with our feet. As soon as my player's foot touches the ground, it's gonna emit fire from it to make it seem like just from the movie when Rengoku stomped his foot and then it was like fire came out in a sense, right? So I'm gonna have a task.wait. I'm gonna say task.wait 1.2 seconds. Keep in mind these animations only work for R15, as well as I timed this specifically for this animation, so you guys may have to mess around with the wait times to get the best results. And I forgot, and I accidentally did capital I. But anyway, so then we're gonna say character attacking dot left foot dot fire dot enabled is equal to false, and then I'm gonna say character attacking dot left foot dot fire dot parent is equal to effect clone dot attachment. We're returning it back to its original owner. Then I'm gonna say task dot wait 1 second. And then I'm gonna say ss dot second form play, right? Or wait. Oh, sorry. Wait. I must be tripping. I'm tripping. Wait, 1.2. Oh, I'm certain. My bad, guys. I forgot. So we're gonna say ss dot second form play. We're gonna say play, right? Then I'm gonna wait 0.2 seconds. Sorry, 0.2 seconds, and then I'm going to stop. And then I'm gonna stop the sound. And then, or actually, no. Not gonna lie, I'm tripping right now. Wait. Okay, so I'm gonna after 1.2 seconds, I'm gonna play it. Then after. Oh, okay. Never. Okay. So we're gonna set this to true. Sorry, guys. We're going to set this to true, and then I'm gonna copy and paste this. So Control C, Control V. Not gonna lie, I was a little confused. Then I'm gonna set this to false, right? And then not gonna hold y'all. I'm kind of confused. My memory is tripping. Oh, okay. I see the problem. Okay, so we don't need this. We play the sound. Okay, so we don't. Wait, no, we do need that. Okay. We're going to delete all of that, right? And then we're going to say character attacking. Here's a character attacking left foot dot fire dot enabled is equal to true. Then I'm going to say second form dot time. Okay, I got it now. Then second form play. Okay, we're good. I'm sorry, guys. I was tripping. And then after, we're going to set this to false. And then, yeah. That looks good. Then I'm going to say task.wait 1 second. And then I'm going to say ss dot second form I'm gonna say stop, and then I'm going to say effects clone.cframe. I'm gonna update the C-frame just in case the player has turned. So we want to make sure that it is accurate. Facing the actual direction the player is facing in, or the attack is launched in the actual direction the player is facing in. So is equal to character attacking dot humanoid root part dot C-frame, right? Then we're gonna set the tween, say local tween is equal to TS on create. And we could put effects clone, comma, tween info dot new. Then I'm gonna say 1.5 seconds. I'm gonna say enum dot easing style dot cubic. You guys can either go with cubic or quad. And enum dot easing direction is of course out. And then as for the property table, we're gonna say special brackets. I'm gonna say C frame is equal to effects clone dot C frame times C frame dot new, or we can say times C frame dot new 0, comma 0, comma negative 100, right? You guys can increase that number if you want, or well, I guess in this case decrease the number, I guess, in a sense. So yeah, then once we have the C frame set up, I'm going on the outside, put another comma, and then we're also going to change the transparency. So transparency, let's say transparency is equal to 0, right? Because we want it to be visible. Then of course we're going to play the tween, and then let me scroll down, and then after we play the tween, we're also going to enable the fire again. So effects clone, say effects clone dot attachment dot fire dot enabled is equal to true. Then ss dot flame slash play. Then I'm going to set up the hitbox function for if a player makes contact with it. We're going to then send it to be verified via on the server side. So hitbox clone dot touched connect function, in parentheses put hit, and enter, and then we can really save the checking for the server side. So we're going to say combat event fire server. First thing we're going to put in quotation marks is death, pretty much checking, verifying if the player needs to die or not. If it is a player, we're going to say hit that parent to send over the potential player. Then we're also going to send over the character attacking to make sure that the player that's using the attack isn't damaged themselves. Then I'm going to say task that wait 1 second. And then I'm going to say explosion. And I'm going to say explosion clone pivot to. Keep in mind it's because it's a model. So I'm going to say pivot to effects clone. Let's say effects clone dot C frame. And then I'm going to say effects clone destroy. I keep forgetting that. It's not like something like it won't autofill for me pretty much. Then I'm going to use a for I loop for the explosion. I'm going to say for I comma v in pairs explosion clone get children enter. Then I'm going to say local tween. Actually, let's just copy and paste. Save everybody some time. So let's control C, control V. Instead, change this to V. Change the time to 0.5 seconds. Easing style is linear. We're still going to have the easing direction be out, but the difference is we're setting the size instead of the C frame. So we're going to say size is equal. So let me just delete that. Then I'm going to say size is equal to vector. Size is equal to vector 3. New. You guys can choose whatever you want for this, but for me, I just chose 60, 60, 60. And the reason is, keep in mind that it's already small enough as is for the second form. Its sizing is like it's like pretty much wait, where is it? Where's the sizing? It's pretty much like 3. Yeah, the sizing is pretty much wait, no, that's the wrong thing. Oh yeah, that's the wrong thing. Right here, right? The sizing is pretty much 444. So we're pretty much making it a lot bigger than it was before. Then I'm gonna put a parenthesis right there, and then same thing. We're setting the transparency equal to 0. We want it to be visible now. And then of course after we're going to play the tween, and then we're gonna go on the outside, guys. And great news, we're almost done. I'm gonna say ss flame slash, say stop, and then I'm gonna say ss dot explosion. Then I'm gonna set first I'm gonna set the time position. You gotta make sure that it's starting at the correct time position, so it's equal to 0, and ss explosion play. Then I'm gonna say task dot wait. 0.7 seconds. And lastly, we're going to use the for I loop to finish, to wrap things up. So for I comma v in pairs, explosion clone, get children, enter, and then I just realized I got to copy and pasted it, but it's okay. We're going to control C and control V this again. Now this time we're going to change it from 0.5 seconds to 3 seconds. We're going to leave the easing style linear. I'm going to change this to in. I'm going to change the sizing back to what it originally was. So you could say 4, 4, 4. Or actually, now I think about it, it probably would make more sense to just make it 0. Just make it 0, but it doesn't matter because we're setting the transparency equal to 1 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, and just like that, guys, you're done on the client side. So, and let me think. I mean, server side is kind of a little longer, but at the same time, I feel like it's not as bad. In my opinion, I feel like it's not as bad as the client's the local script. But anyway, let's insert a server script into server script service. We're going to insert our animations, like I said at the beginning of the video. Then I'm going to name this flame breathing script. In parentheses, I'm going to put server. Let me fix that. Make sure. Okay, I'm still good. Delete print hello world. I'm going to make honestly a lot of variables. Actually, you know what? Let's just save everybody some time. All right, so let's go here. We're gonna copy and paste. We're honestly gonna actually copy and paste all this. Wait, actually, not. It's a little off topic, but hold on. Let me see something. Oh, I didn't. Oh, never mind. I didn't need that. I was thinking to myself. I'm like, I feel like there was a reason I needed this, but I just can't remember. Anyway, we're going to copy and paste all these variables. So Control C, Control V saves us some time. So let's separate them. We're gonna have our services at the top, then our remote event. Then I'm gonna get my effects, the effects folder. So local effects equal to game, the service storage, wait for child effects. Then I'm gonna get the hitbox, local hitbox is equal to game, the service storage, wait for child, hitbox. Right. And lastly, I'm going to make a variable for players that can damage for the attacks that need it. Like the second form attack won't need it, but the first form attack will need it. And obviously, if I were to add other effects, I'm going to say local can attack is equal to special brackets, right? Then I'm going to say combat event dot on server event connect function in parentheses with PLR, which is short for the player. Then I'm going to say event type comma arg1 comma arg2, argument 1, argument number 2. Then first and first, I'm going to get the player's character. So I'm going to say local character is equal to player dot character. Then I'm going to set up the different events. So if event type is equal to death, right? This is very simple. We're just going to say local possible character, it might be a character, is equal to argument number 1. And then local attacking character, we want to make sure that this player is not damaged at all, is equal to argument number 2. Then I'm going to say if possible character, find first child humanoid, making sure it is either an NPC or a player. And possible character name is nil equal to attacking character name. Then pretty much means it is not. This is pretty much what it means. It is not equal, so that the names don't match. Then possible character dot humanoid dot health is equal to 0. Now, if you guys wanted to just do it where it like subtracts health, you would have to add the player's name to a table and stuff. But then if you did like that, only one player could be damaged. I honestly wouldn't see why a person would want to use like Rengoku's final attack, like a big finishing move, as like the only reasonable way I could see it being used if it's like a one hit kill type of attack. So yeah. So that's the way I made it. So yeah, then we're gonna get into our else if statement. This is for the first form. Now we get into the first form. So let's say else if event type is equal to quotation marks first form enter, right? Then I'm gonna set the animation track local at. Let me move this over. Local at is equal to character dot humanoid load animation, right? And then in parentheses, I'm going to put script regular bracket event type dot quotation marks animation, right? That's why I said naming them is very important. Then I'm gonna say at play. Oh, I just realized I named it at instead of at. So at, and then paste that over and move that over as well. So we're gonna play the animation track. Then I'm gonna insert the player's name to the table so that they can deal damage or do damage, can attack, comma player dot name, right? Then I'm going to clone over the effects. I'm gonna say local effects clone is equal to effects regular bracket the event type, and then I'm going to go on the outside I'm gonna say clone, then I'm gonna set a couple properties. I'm gonna say effects clone, pivot to, because keep in mind it is a model, character, that humanoid root part, dot C frame. Honestly, this is kind of a lot, but yeah. Humanoid root part dot C frame times C frame dot angles math dot rad 0, comma math dot rad 0, and math dot rad, we're gonna put 90, right? Just make sure it's upright, it's facing the correct direction, right? And then after, I'm going to say effects clone dot parent is equal to workspace, so it can be visible. And for the last property, I'm going to say effects clone dot weld constraint dot part one is equal to character dot humanoid root part. Oh, I forgot to mention. Also, make sure that all your effects, make sure all your effects are maskless. Make sure the maskless property is checked. Make sure they're all maskless so that the welds don't glitch or anything. So yeah, so after we set the effects, we can then move on to the hitbox. Thing up the hitbox, we're gonna say local hitbox clone is equal to hitbox clone. Then I'm gonna set the size, hitbox clone dot size. The size of the hitbox depends on the attack, so you guys can mess around with the hitbox itself to see what's a good size for your attack. For the first form attack for me, I decided to go with vector 3 dot new 17 comma 6 comma 17, right? Then for the next property, we're gonna set the C frame, so it's equal to character dot humanoid root part dot C frame. Then I'm going to set the parent, so hitbox clone dot parent is equal to workspace. And lastly, I'm going to set the weld. Hitbox weld dot part one is equal to character dot humanoid root part, right? Then lastly, wait, actually, I feel like I did this in the wrong order. Oh, actually, no, I did do this in the right order. Then I'm gonna set up the the damaging function. So hitbox dot touched connect function, in parentheses put hit, enter. Then I'm gonna say if hit dot parent find for child humanoid, and table dot find can attack player dot name. I'm going to remove my name, so table dot remove can attack comma table dot find can attack comma player dot name. Then of course I'm going to say hit dot parent dot humanoid dot health, or wait, actually no, not that health, sorry. I'm gonna say take damage and then say like 10. You guys can choose whatever value you want though. It's up to y'all. But yeah, for me I'm just gonna go with 10. Then I'm going on the outside of these ends, scroll down a little bit, and then I'm going to say effect clone dot particle emitter that time scale is equal to 1. I want the particles to start moving now. I'm gonna say ss.flame slash play, right? And I'm gonna say task.wait 0.3 seconds. Then we use a for I loop to handle the effects. So I'm gonna say for I comma v in pairs effect clone get children, similar to what we did in the local script. So enter. Then I'm gonna say if v is a attachment, enter. If it is an attachment, I'm going to say v dot particle emitter dot time scale is equal to 1. Great news, guys, we can copy and paste. So I'm going to control C, control V, and I got to do this time is change the time scale, so time scale to 0. Save this. Oh wait, actually nope, sorry guys. We actually have a little bit more to do. So instead set this, so instead you're going to set the time scale, or wait, I feel like I'm tripping. I am tripping, sorry guys. Okay. So in between, we're gonna have a test that wait 1.7 seconds, right? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a for I loop. I'm going to say for I is equal to 0 comma 1 comma 0.2, right? Then we'll just press enter. I'm gonna throw this in the middle, so control C, control V, throw this in the middle, and then I'm going to instead say transparency, sorry. So transparency, and then I'm going to set the transparency equal to number sequence dot new I, right? Just keep in mind it's counting upward. It's going, the starting value is 0, the final value is 1, and it's going up by 0.2. it's going to end off at 1. So pretty much it's going to be transparent by the time this entire thing is done. So then I'm going to go on the outside again, and then we are reaching the end of this attack. I'm going to use the debris service, right? So then I'm going to say ds. Oh, I'm going to say ds. Wait, where's the debris service? Did I forget to? And I forgot to get the debris service. Okay, we're going to go back up here and do local ds to go to game, get service, debris. And I just realized I did not mean to get the edit. I'm going to bring that over. I just realized I copy and pasted the user input service. No need for that on the client side. I mean the server side. But yeah, so I'm going to say ds. I'm going to say add item. And then I'm going to add the effect clone, comma 0.2 seconds. ds add item. Then I'm going to add the hitbox clone. I'm at the hitbox clone. And then I'm going to say 0 seconds, right? And then I'm going to say if table.find can attack player.name, enter. We can just copy and paste this, Control C, Control V, right? And great news, guys, we are finished with that attack. Now just for the second one, and the second one, as you guys can see, we handled majority of it on the client side, so it won't take that long. It really won't take that long to handle the stuff we need to handle on the server side. So enter. If the event type is equal to quotation marks, second form, enter, right? Moving on, we need to set up the animation track. So let's save ourselves some time. So let's copy and paste the animation track, Control C, Control V, just like that. We have the animation track, and I'm also going to make it so my player can't move, since this is considered the final move. So character that humanoid dot walk speed is equal to 0, right? Then I'm going to clone over all the stuff. So local effects, clone 1 is equal to effects, regular brackets, event type, clone. Then I'm going to clone over the explosion. So explosion clone is equal to effects. Look, I'm missing something. Oh, there we go. Explosion clone. Then lastly, I'm going to clone over the hitbox. So hitbox clone is equal to hitbox clone. Then I'm going to start setting properties. I'm going to say hitbox clone dot size is equal to vector3 dot new 18 comma 17 comma 28, right? Then I'm going to set c frames and parent them. So I'm going to say effects clone dot c frame is equal to character dot humanoid root part dot c frame. Then I'm going to say hitbox clone dot c frame is equal to effects clone 1 dot c frame. Then I'm going to set the weld constraint for the hitbox. So hitbox clone dot hitbox weld dot part 1 is equal to character. Oh, sorry, not character. Is equal to effects clone 1. And then I'm going to parent all of them. So I'm going to simply say effects clone dot 1 dot parent equal to workspace. Then explosion clone dot parent equal to workspace. And lastly, hitbox clone dot parent is equal to workspace. And we're almost done, guys. Then I'm going to fire the motivate and send over all the needed information. This is for all this stuff. So combat event, fire all clients. Then I'm going to send over the event types. So second form, comma, send over effects clone 1, comma, the character that's attacking, comma, explosion clone, explosion model, and lastly, the hitbox model. Then I'm going to add this stuff to the debris service. So ds add item explosion clone. The attack takes about 7 seconds. ds add item explosion clone. They're all going to be added for a span of 7 seconds. So explosion clone, effects clone 7, and lastly add item hitbox clone, comma 7 seconds. And then of course I'm going to have a task.wait. So task.wait 7 seconds. And last I'm going to set my player's walk speed back to normal. If there are any issues, we can debug and figure it out. As always, if you guys want access to any of my scripts or models, you guys can become either a channel member or a Discord subscriber. Links to either one of those options can be found in the description. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So the first attack, simple E, and I knew there would be an issue. What constrains on development of part? Let me see. But it's interesting. I wasn't expecting to have an issue on the first one. Not gonna lie to y'all. I was expecting it really to be like, wait, what is this? Line 29. Well, let me think. Like the clone. pivot to a constraint dot part. Wait, effects clone. I feel like I did something wrong. I'm not gonna hold you. I feel like I did something wrong. Let me see. Effects clone. Effects event type. Clone it over. Pivot it. Parent to the workspace. Effect clone dot will constraint dot part of one is character recommended to require. Will constraint that file of part. Yes, it is. That will constraint of part workspace dot first form. That's weird because it is a part of it, so that's weird. Or I guess it must not be a part of it at the time. I don't know if maybe effects clone weight per child perhaps. Well constraint. I don't know if maybe that will change. I don't know, maybe that will change something. This is weird because it is a part of it. Okay. Wait, no, it's the infinite yield, isn't it? Yeah, I was gonna say. Let me just make sure my mic is still recording. Okay. It's okay, guys. We're gonna figure this out. If a child will constraint. Okay, so I don't understand. If it's referring to this. So effects clone dot weld. Oh, I just spelled it wrong. Oh, sorry guys. I forgot this. I'm wondering myself. I'm like, I don't even understand. Can't even understand why. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Okay, just to let you guys know, it is a little glitchy in Studio. I don't know, Studio would be weird, like with sounds and effects, and stuff. So if you really want to like get an accurate viewing, I would recommend you publish your game, you go test an actual server. Here's what the move actually looks like. It takes about like the second. Yeah, there we go. Here's what the move actually looks like. It may look a little different for each one, but it usually balances out after like using it the first time. But yeah, so here's what it actually looks like. You know, low sides. Side so you guys hear the sound, flame, very nice VFX. Gotta give the props to the people who make the VFX. Now as for the second attack, which is like looking my favorite because it took me a little longer to make. So I pressed the F key. Boom. I started. Boom. Yep, there we go. Definitely my best attack I've made. Stuff. So if you pay close attention, you guys will see as soon as I stop my feet, that's when the flames emit. Then I the tiger. Boom, explosion. And as you can see, the guy died. So yeah. And then my walk speed is set to. See, I can't move. I can't move right now. I can only just turn my player. Then when it's done, then I can move. So wait for it. Okay, there we go. So yeah, like I said, if you guys want access to the script and model, you guys can become either a channel member or a Discord subscriber. Greatly appreciate all this love and support you guys been showing. Links to join both my Roblox group and Discord can be found in the description. If you guys need help with this script or any of my other scripts, you guys can join my Discord server. Also join the Roblox group because just because. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want a part 2 or more Demon Slayer content, just leave a like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.